and gals. I was going to try to squeeze in a second video for the week. Again, it's very nice outside. I got a lot of stuff to do out there, and I'm spending a lot of time outside before it turns into 98 degrees and 198% humidity, which I hate working in. So, but I got a big yard sale coming this weekend. No model railroad stuff at my yard sale, sorry. Me and my sister are having a joint one at my house, so that's tomorrow and Saturday. After the weekend, I got a big dump truck full of mulch coming, and I'm going to have to dig out my wheelbarrow and shovel and stuff and deal with that. And so I'm really not getting a lot of stuff done down here. But I wanted to do a quick one today on how I take cheap plastic Atlas telephone poles and turn them into something that looks quite a bit better than what they look like straight out of the box. So if you want, let's head over to the workbench again, and I'll get you started on how to take something like that and turn it into something pretty cool. So here they are. These must be really vintage. Actually, they come out of the box. They're like a dark gray, shiny plastic, and they have this funky base on the bottom. I gave these a shot of primer, and I must have had a brain seizure at some point because I didn't put any wood grain in it before I hit them with primer, which I probably should have, but I can make it work with a different way. And anyhow, they have these little mold circles on there, very unrealistic. So I got to scrape them off with a blade. And these ones up here on the cross arms. And like I said, these must be vintage because I think Atlas sells these again. I mean, I think they're still on their website, but they have 3 cross arms instead of 2. So I don't know how old these are. It could be 40-year-old at least. Who knows? Anyhow, you can find these things in, like indoor flea markets, antique malls, those kind of places. People sell stuff and little booths all through them. And I've found numerous boxes of these, anywhere from $5 to $3 to $2. You get like a dozen. So value for the money is pretty good. There's other ones out there that are higher, better quality. Rix, I think, RIX. They make one that's really nice. And I have a bunch of those on my layout. But if you want to do something cheaply and have it still look real good, follow along here. All right, prep work, which I should have done before priming them. But since I was weird and primered them ahead of time, I'm just dealing with it. So, anyhow. All right, I took a chisel blade. You can barely see where those circles were on. I just scraped them off real good and took a sanding stick and sanded them off, and it took off some of the primer, but that's all right. I think there's still enough tooth on there to hold paint. So another thing I could have done ahead of time was add in wood grain. This is a razor saw, cheap. Actually, it's Atlas. Same company that makes these. I've had this forever. The blades are all beat up, but they work great for this kind of stuff. We're going to add wood grain to plastic. Just do a little scraping down the pole like that. Again, that takes off some of the primer too, but that's all right. We're still going to be able to see the wood grain. Eventually this base will get cut off. Round base. Never saw a telephone pole sitting on a round piece of whatever. Alright, so there we got. Let's get some of the fuzz off. Now in here the number 11 blade. It's hard to use this on the cross arms just because they're so small. I'm just going to add wood grain. I don't know if you can see very well with my hands and fingers in the way. Just going along the length of the cross arm, putting a bunch of lines in it. I'm just trying to hold it so you can see it. But I think you get the idea. These little braces, we'll scratch them up with some lines. Add some wood grain to them too. Get here in the in-between part. Alright. A little bit more in there. I want them deep enough so I don't actually fill them in with paint. Get this other side quick. And then take the camera down off its pod here and let you see what it looks like up close. Or maybe I don't have to do that. I can just get my lazy butt off the chair. There's some little spots that don't have any grain in them. Want it real woody looking. Gotta get these little areas where the saw can't reach. You could do it all with the blade if you want. It's just a little quicker to do it with the saw, at least the pole part. Alright, so it only takes a few minutes. So let me get up here, show you this. See if I can get it into focus for you. Oh, where are we at here? There we go. Come on here, focus, please. It doesn't want to do it. Hang on. So there you go. You can see the wood's kind of chawed up. All the way down. Wood, I should say plastic, because that's what it is, plastic. I think I got to get a little more right in the middle there between the two cross arms. Add a little bit more into it. It always helps to look at things close up. You can see where you need to add a little stuff to it. So let me do that quick. All right, now we're all ready for painting. First thing I'm gonna do is take this black wash, alcohol and India ink, and go over the whole thing. That'll get down into the cracks and darken them. And then I'll get into painting, and I'm not going to completely dry brush, but almost dry brush colors on. I just selected a whole bunch of colors. I don't know which one of these I'm going to use yet till I actually look at it. The green here will be for the insulators. So set that off to the back. So there's like an off-white, and there's some gray, dark gray, and medium gray, and different tans, and raw sienna, some other colors. So we'll see which I'm going to use. If you take a walk around my neighborhood, as probably in most neighborhoods, I can go around the whole block and see probably 12 different shading and colors of telephone poles. Whether they're newer, whether they're real old, some are gray, some are like barnwood gray, some look like pine, a pine color, which is really light. Some are real dark. Some of them have creosote along the bottoms of them. Some don't. So you can add variety and do them all kind of different ways, and they'll still look great. So let's just get this one done here. Okay, I think we're recording. Yep, we're recording. All right, this is black wash. Stuff Takes no time at all to dry. The point is to get it into the cracks in the fake wood. That's good. Help it to dry a little bit. Alright, leave these bases on because they're good to use to hold till they gotta get themselves amputated off there. Alright, let's start with a couple of things here. Let's do this is a neutral gray. This is antique white. Oh boy, that's a little too much. Yeah, waste paint. Alright, this is one called Safari Taupe. Or Taupe. Not sure how you pronounce that. There's another gray called Timeless Gray. Slightly lighter than that other one. And this is a real dark gray. It's called Pavement. Looks like asphalt color almost. And what's this one? I'm just gonna squeeze out a little bit of all of them. Pick and choose as I go. That one's a raw sienna, and this one's called Honey Brown. Alright. And I'm going to be mixing and blending these colors, but very lightly together. Use a brush like this. Old brushes are great for this kind of stuff. Whenever my brushes wear out on fine detail parts, I save them anyhow. I use them for dry brushing, for weathering powders, for this kind of stuff, where I don't have to get down and dirty and really fine painting. So let me go with the this gray first. Timeless gray, I think it is. No, it's neutral gray. Just gonna put some on my brush, kind of brush off a lot of it. Just lightly brush, skimming over the top of the wood. Plastic. Woody plastic. Oh shoot, didn't want to do that. Alright, we're changing its appearance nicely with just that one color. They always say when you're painting, use 3 colors for everything. So if I'm going with a more grayer look, I'll use this light gray now. Timeless gray. Gently streak it. Do cross arms. Alright, now these braces, I'm going to use a different brush for them. I want these to be a different color, just for the heck of it. So we'll use this one. This raw sienna. Just adds a little variety, a little more interest to it. If it's a different type of wood that was used than the poles and the cross arms. Now what I'm going to do, take just a little bit of water, lightly add a little moisture to this, just helps blend them together a little bit. Now, creosote. We'll do some creosote on toward the bottom. I guess that's what it is, creosote. Just gonna skim it up. Get darker toward the bottom and lighter as I skip up with it. Alrighty. Now these little tiny insulators, they have a little post that comes up off the wood. This little fine little brush will get in there no problem. Use this pavement color again. If I get a little on the insulators, it's no problem. They're going to be painted right over. Maybe not the best job of doing it. I'm kind of in a hurry. So I tend to take my time a little bit more when I don't have to talk and explain things. All right. A couple more here. Sit that there. Okay, now I need this green. Oh boy. Heavy-handed squeezer of paint today I am. This will be the insulators because I'm assuming they're supposed to be glass, especially for the era that I model. Will be glass insulators up there, and a lot of them are green from what I've seen in photos. And this is a pretty good color match. I remember in kids, you're messing around in a junkyard or something, find these things in there sometimes. We'd shoot them with a BB gun. That was always fun. Excuse me. I have pollen in my throat. Pollen is everywhere out there, and it can be rough on you. Okay, there's that. Now, while that dries, I'm going to let those completely dry. Then I'm going to go in and add a little bit of gloss medium varnish. It's a clear, glossy acrylic. And it'll give a shine to the glass. So let me turn this off for a minute. Go clean out my head. Then we'll go on to the last part. These are about done now. I did another one. Slightly different colors. I used more of a tannish brownish color on it. I think you can see the wood grain pretty good on that. And here's the one we just did. The gloss medium should be about dry. See, it makes the insulators a little shiny, as if they're glass. So now the next step will be to cut this base off. Just use my razor saw for that. All cut off. Now, if you are planting these, say you're planting directly into foam, what you could do is take a little tiny bitty, very sharp tack, drill a tiny hole in the bottom, put the tack in there with super glue, and then you could just stick it into your foam. I don't use foam as I use foam, but I don't use it as a base very often. So a lot of times these are going right into plaster. So what I do is I just take an awl, AWL awl, poke a little hole in the plaster, put some tacky glue in there, let it set up for a couple minutes, and stick these things down in it. They'll hold till the glue dries. Sometimes you might have to go back in and put a little ground cover around the bottom, because when you dig a hole in your plaster, of course, you might get a little plaster dust that comes up, or you disturb the ground cover you already have and it looks like crap, so you might have to go in and add a little more. So let me show what you want to do if you want to put wires on these things. Wires. No, I don't have any wires on any of my poles on my layout. The reason being because I found once I get them up there and then I'm doing like work on the layout, and my clumsy hands get in there and the wires are in the way and it's just annoying, so I leave them off for now. My layout room over there, that's about 95% completed. Once it gets to 100%, then I'll go ahead and put the wire on. But for now, they're staying off. All right, so what you can use here is a product called Easy Line. This is 100 feet of it, and it's the fine. They make different thicknesses, but this is the fine one, and it works good. It's about, I'm guessing, looks like HO scale. I suppose you could use it in N scale too, and you really wouldn't know the difference if you're an N scaler. If you're an O scaler, I would go with a little thicker one. Atlas does make O scale poles as well. Anyhow, what's cool about this stuff is it's stretchy. I don't know if you can see it stretching. My camera today seems to be a little wonky, but easy way to do it, and you can do it pretty much single-handedly, is, if I can find the end. I'm not going to actually physically do it because I don't want to glue this on yet. But all right, here's the end. What you can do is make a tiny little loop. You slip it over the top. Hold it on with your finger, go over to the next one, do another little loop around, go on to the next one, do a little loop around. Take crazy glue on a little, or any kind of super glue will work, like the little end of a toothpick or something, put a little tiny dot on there, and then I'm going to hit it with stuff called Insta-Set, which is an accelerator. It makes the super glue dry like immediately. So you do want to make sure you have them on there properly before you do that, or else you'll be gluing your string to the cross arms or to the pole or something, and then you'll have a mess. So this stuff comes in a pump spray bottle, and if you're using it and you're spraying, and you're just going to waste material, it's going to spray everywhere, including where you want it, but it's just going to go everywhere you really don't need it either. It's not harmful, but it's just a waste. So I put them in these little tiny bottles, and I don't have the package anymore. I got a package from, I believe from, I'll check and put a link in the description. These are from Motrack Models, I do believe, Jeff Adams' company. I'm pretty sure that's where I got these, at a train show. So I pour this Insta-Set into here, and then it has this little tip, so you can get precise application of your stuff. In fact, I just dropped the drop right on it. If there was super glue on there, that'd be hard immediately. So what's also cool about this stuff being stretchy is that, say you're cleaning your track and you bump into it with your hand or your track cleaning tool you're using or whatever, it'll stretch and not tear your line poles down. and then you have to re-glue them again. So that's what's really cool about that stuff. You can also use this stuff for probably tie downs. I'm just thinking, I've never tried it, but you could probably use it for like tie downs on say flat cars. If you put a few tractors or something on a flat car and you want to use a tie down on them, you could probably use this. So lots of uses for it. Anywhere you want wires. So that's it. Hope that gave you some ideas on what you could do with these cheapo plastic looking things and make them look a heck of a lot better, I think. So I do want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for checking this out. Hope, like I said, I hope it gave you some cool ideas. You don't have to do it my way. I just said, you know, in my description of my channel, this is my way of doing things, and there's 18 billion other ways to do things. So do the same thing. So if you like this one and you think it looks cool, give her a try. I think you'll be happy with the results. So thank you for subscribing, all you subscribers. That's awesome. We're up to, like, I think about 810 now, 809, 810. That's amazing and unbelievable. Tell your friends, share the channel, hit the like and the thumbs up. That helps the algorithm. Please, that'd be awesome of y'all. Now, got my yard sale this weekend, Sunday. I'm hitting up Timonium, Maryland, at the state fairgrounds for the big scale model train show that they hold 3 times a year. This is the spring show, and hopefully we can find some cool stuff to pick up and get some good deals on things. So I try to go to all of them down there that I can. Once in a while I end up missing one. The winter one, if there's a blizzard, I'm not driving down there. It's not far. It's about an hour from here to get down into Maryland and down to Timonium. But if you go, check out the Craftsman Courtyard if you're into Craftsman kits. I'm not sure who's all going to be there this time. I'm pretty sure that Mind Mount Models will be there. It's when I did the little shed video. I'm pretty sure he'll be there. And I'm pretty sure Rail Scale Models, Steve Milley's company, is there. And I believe Frank and Natalie from Mud Creek Models might be there. I don't know, but it's on the website. Great Scale Model Train Show. And you can check it out. And if you're into Craftsman kits, or you want to really learn how to get into some Craftsman kits, stop by and talk to those folks, because they're just wonderful people. All made in America, tariff free. So check out their stuff. And if you see me there, say, hey, I saw you on YouTube. Something. So anyhow, enough yapping. Have a good upcoming weekend, folks. And I'm not sure when the next video will be. It'll be sometime after the train show. Like I said, I got mulch and stuff coming, so I'm going to be busy. I'm not sure if I can get to my 2 a week that I try to strive for. So see ya.